Hi P6. Today I'm going to go through Chapter 2, Applications of Percentages. Just a quick reminder, percentage means you divide the total number of things into 100 groups. That's why the denominator will be always 100. Okay, let's look at page 11, question 1. In this fish tank, there are 50 fish. The black color of fish, purple color of fish, and orange color of fish. So in the first question, you will see they're asking how many fish are black. As we learned before, when we want to find the number of something by using the given percentage, basically we just need to use the total number of it times the percentage given. So same as here, you use the total number of fish, 50, times the percentage of black fish, which is 56%. And by looking at it, we can do estimation. Remember, we always use estimation to help us to make sure that our answer is more likely to be correct. So 56% is close to 60%. And we can tell by just looking at it, 60% of 50 is 30. So that our answer should be close to 30. So the next step is changing the percentage to fraction. So it will be 50 times 56 over 100. As I said, in percentage, the denominator is always 100. And then we do the simplification, which hasn't shown here, but you have to do it. And then the answer will be 28. So the statement will be 28. Fish are black. Okay, for part B, they're asking about how many fish are purple. So same thing. The total number of fish hasn't changed. Use 50 times the percentage of purple fish, which is 12%. And then we can do estimation again. 12% is close to 10. So 10% of 50 is 5. So our answer should be close to 5. If you got something more than 5, like way more than 5, or you got 0, for example, then you know that you got a wrong answer. You need to do the calculation again. Okay, so the next step, as usual, change the percentage to fraction. So you see, do the simplification, and then you got the answer, 6. Don't forget the statement, 6 fish are purple. And then the last question is how many fish are orange? So basically, you can use the total number of fish minus the number of black fish and minus the number of purple fish. Because we found the number of black fish in part A, and we find the number of purple fish in part B. So it's 50 minus 28 and minus 6. So you can get 16. So the 16 fish are orange. Okay. So what if you do have another way to find like how many fish are orange faster? For example, if there's no part A and part B, I just give you all the information and ask you how many fish are orange right away. How can we do it in one go? Let's look at the picture below. As I said it, we always use the rectangle, right, to represent the total number of things. So right here, a rectangle representing 50 fish, all the fish. In 50 fish, 56% black, 12% purple. And then we can use 1 minus 56% minus 12% as orange fish. Do you still remember what that 1 means? 1 means the total, means 100%. Then why don't we just write 100%? Because we tend to use 1 to represent 100%. Because we know 100% means 100 over 100. So to do the simplification, it becomes 1. Okay, I hope you still remember this concept. So we can just write one formula using the brackets. We can use the total number of fish times the percentage of orange fish, which is, you can see here, is 1 minus 56% minus 12%. Okay, so you can do the calculation, which is 32%. Okay, so basically, the next step, if you are doing math A and B, you write 50 times 32% and then change the 32% into fraction and do all those calculations, and then you can get the number 16 as the answer of the number of orange fish. Okay, so basically, you learn two methods to attempt one question. All right, for question 2. So this time, the total number is not all the fish. They're just talking about the orange fish. It said 37%, 37.5% of the orange fish are stripy. Stripy means they have like lines on the fish. How many orange fish are not stripy? Not stripy, okay? So when you have something and then not that thing, remember we can also use 1 minus as well. So the percentage of orange fish are not stripy would be how many percent? Use 1. Okay, use 1 minus 37.5%. Then you can find the percentage, which is 62.5% of orange fish are not stripy. So you can use the total number of orange fish, which is 16 times the percentage of orange fish are not stripy, which is 1 minus 37.5%, which I have calculated as 62.5%. And then do the calculation, same as usual. Don't worry, don't be scared because it's percentage. Just change it like how we change it when they are not percentage. Put it as 62.5 over 100, okay? And then you can find the answer to be 10. And the statement will be 10 orange fish are not striped. Okay, what is this bubble about? Same thing, helping you to estimate, okay, your answer, so it won't be, so you can tell whether your answer is like right or wrong, most likely right or wrong. So 62.5% is close to 60. So 60% of 16 is 9.6. So your answer should be close to 9.6, which is 10. All right? Just helping you to check your answer in the exam. All right, by now you should know how to do both methods. Let's try it in class study. Take some time, stop here, try it yourself first before you keep watching the video. A box of fish food weighs 2,000 grams. 16% of the box was used on Monday, and 12% of the box was used on Tuesday. Okay, you can tell that they haven't used all of them because 16% plus 12% is only 28%. So they just use 28% of that, right? So the question 1 is, how many grams of fish food were used on Monday? Just use the total 2,000 times the percentage that used on Monday, which is 16%. Okay, and then do the calculation. You can find the answer to be 320%. All right. You can also use the estimation to check your answer. You can say 16% is close to 20%. So you can find 20% of 2,000 would be 400. So you should get something close to 400. All right, statement. And then question 2. How many grams of fish food were used on Tuesday? Same thing. Use the total number of fish times 12%, which is used on Tuesday. And then you can find the answer 240. You can also use the estimation, like 12% is close to 10%. So how many will it be if 10% of 2,000 is around 200? So your answer should be close to 200. All right. So the statement will be 240 grams of fish food were used on Tuesday. And then you still have one more question. How many grams of fish food are left? As I said before, they haven't used all of them. So how many of them are left? You can use the concept 100%, which we write 1. Use 1 to minus 16% and 12%. Okay? Use the total number of 2,000 grams times brackets 1 minus 16% minus 12% to find it. Or you can use the easier method because we find the number of fish food that we used on Monday in question 1, and we find the number of fish food we use on Tuesday in question 2. So we can basically use 2000 to minus those two numbers. So first method, easy one. Use 2000 to minus those two numbers and it will become 1440. Or the second method, 2000 times the percentage of fish food left, which we use 1 minus 16% minus 12%. Okay? Make sure you understand both of the method. All right? And if you fully understand these questions and you got it right, so then let's jump to colorful marbles, question 2. So in the picture, you can see Lisa and Billy, and they have different colors of marbles. For the question 1, we talk about the marbles of Lisa's. In the question, it tells us that Lisa has 40 marbles, and 25% of them are orange, and 20% of them are green. Okay? So as usual, they're asking you how many marbles which are orange and how many marbles which are green, right? Before we've learned this, doing it separately. But this time, the question is asking us the number of orange marbles and green marbles, okay, all together. So how can we find it in one formula rather than dividing them into two parts like what we did before? Basically, we can just add in those two percentage together and then do multiplication in one time. What I mean is use the total number of marbles times the total percentage of orange and green marbles. Okay? So we will add the percentage together, which is 45%. And then we change the percentage to fraction. Do the calculation, and then we find 18. And there are 18 orange marbles and green marbles all together. And then for part B, this time they are comparing the numbers, the differences of orange marbles and green marbles. So how can we do it? It's easy, just the same thing. You use the total number of marbles times the percentage differences. Okay? So how can we find the differences between two things? We use what? Subtraction, right? So basically use the total number of marbles times the 25% of orange marbles minus 20% of the green marbles. And then we can find the differences of these two marbles in percentage is 5%. And then we can do all the calculation. We can find the numbers too. So maybe you ask, but this percentage is for orange and this is for green. So can we minus them together? Can we do like subtraction like this way? Yes, we can. As long as their total, okay, the total number of marbles are the same. This percentage is talking about inside the 40 marble, 25% are orange, okay? And the 20% means inside these 40 marbles, 20% of them are green. So that's why when the total of them are together are the same, you can just do the subtraction like that. Okay? So let's turn to page 13. In question 2, we were talking about Billy. Billy has 30 marbles. 60% of them are yellow, and 50% of the yellow marbles have patterns. How many yellow marbles have patterns? We can do it in two methods. We can divide it to two steps, like finding the total number of yellow marbles first, and then finding 50% of the yellow marbles which has patterns. You can see method 1. Use the total number of marbles. 60% of them, this then means 30 marbles. So use 30 minus, 30 times 60%, which we find is 18 yellow marbles. Okay, so in the 30 marbles, the 18 of them are yellow. Okay, and then in that 18 yellow marbles, 50% of them have patterns. Okay, you have to be careful. Here is 60% of them. This then means the total numbers of marbles, 30 marbles. And 50% of the yellow marbles have patterns. Yeah, the number of yellow marbles is 18. So this time, the total number of yellow marbles, you will say 18 times 50%. So we can find inside the 18 marbles, there are 9 of them have patterns. Okay, easy busy. But how about method 2? How can we do it like in one go? Let's look at the picture. What we did is you can just use picture to represent what we did in method 1. First of all, in these 30 marbles, 60% of them are yellow. Okay, I don't care about the others, all right? And in that 60%, 50% of it have patterns. So if you want to do it in one go, we can just basically 30 times 60% times 50% to find the total number of yellow marbles have patterns. So you can see the calculation. Just changing the percentage into a fraction in the second steps, and then do all the simplification, calculation, and we can find the answer as 9. All right? So take some time, go through the method 1 and method 2 again. Try to understand them. And then you can try to do class study. You stop here, try to attend the class study by yourself first, and then keep watching me telling you the answers. All right. The class study question is, it was the sports day of Mercy Primary School last Friday. Among the 150 pupils participating in the events, 20% of them were junior boys, 14% of them were junior girls, and 34% of them were senior boys. All right? So right here, don't be scared because there's so many percentage and numbers here. You can use picture to representing it. Remember, you can use the rectangle, okay? 150 pupils, all right? And then 20% of them are boys, okay? Junior boys. And then 14% of them were junior girls. So basically you have junior boys percentage, junior girls percentage, and then the senior boys percentage, 3%. And then the first question, just asking you how many boys participated in the events. So look for the boys. We have junior boys and senior boys, okay? Both of them boys. So we have to consider 2 percentages here. Same as what we did before. Use the total number of pupils, 150 times the 2 percentages adding together. 20% for the junior boys and 34% for the senior boys. And then you can do all the calculation, and then you can get the answer will be 81 boys participated in the events. Okay, and then second question, just similar to the one before, you are comparing the differences of the number of boys. Okay, so how many more senior boys than junior boys participated in the events? So when you're comparing the differences, what do you use? You use subtraction, right? So for the senior boys, you got 34%. Junior boys, you got 20%. So basically, you do the subtraction between these 2 percentage to find their differences. And then times the total number of peoples. Okay, so use 150 times bracket 34% minus 20%. The differences percentage will be 14%. And then you do all the calculation. You got the answer with 21. Don't forget the statement. 21 more senior boys than junior boys participated in the events. All right. So for the last questions, it says what percentage of the pupils who participated in the events were senior girls? Okay. Have they mentioned anything about senior girls here? No. So how can I find how many of the pupils are senior girls? Don't worry, okay? First of all, you know, in the 150 pupils, there will be only junior boys, junior girls, and senior girls. Okay, so 4 of them. So you use 1 to minus the percentage of junior boys minus the percentage of junior girls and then minus the percentage of senior boys. Then you can find the percentage of senior girls. Okay, remember? So we use this to find 32%. Okay, so now we know the percentage of senior girls among these 150 pupils is 32%. Okay, so after we know the percentage of the senior girls, we want to know more about the senior girls. So the question 4 is, among the senior girls, 25% of them wore glasses. How many senior girls wore glasses? Be careful. 25% of them, this word means the number of senior girls. Okay? It's not the number of total pupils. So you have to be careful with this one. So now the total number will become the total number of senior girls, which we need to find it first. We use 150 times the percentage that we find in question 3, which is 32%, to find the number of senior girls, which is 48. And in this 48 senior girls, 25% of them wore glasses. So we will use 48 times 25% to find out the number of senior girls who wore glasses. Okay, that is method 1, right? Don't forget method 2. Method 2 is easy. It's just what we did in Billy's questions. We use the total number of pupils times 32% and then times the 25% who wear glasses in one go to find the number of senior girls who wore glasses. Okay, that's quite a lot for today. So I stop here. If you have any questions, you can leave message to me in the Google Classroom. And we will continue the second part of this chapter next week. Okay? Try to attempt the homework and just leave me a message if any questions. Okay? If you don't understand, watch it again and again and again. And don't worry, when we come back, we'll go through it again as well. Okay? That's all for today. Bye.